Welcome back to the Curry Stew, the Chutney podcast. It is time for another episode. Dun, 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 dun. It's yours truly, Big Daddy, and the man next to me. I don't know which direction, but he's next to me. The one and only. Dun, 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 dun.
Richardissimo. I know one. You can call me. It's all right. I just know you're talking about me. If you're saying one of those things.
What if I call you both names? Richard Decimo. Okay, I won't call you other name. I can add some more names. I won't call you other names.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the Curry Stew. Thank you very much for checking it out. And we're happy that you're here trying to find out what's going on in the chutney industry. And we are just adding our little taste and our opinions to just try and let you know what we observe and probably add in a couple things about what could help make it a little better and support and guide the artists as well as the fans, because sometimes the fans just doesn't know what to expect, and so we're just trying to let people know what's going on and how we feel about it, and probably even try to suggest a couple things to help make it better. So that's what we're going to talk about this time, just as every other time. And this time we have a couple topics that we're going to just be sprinkling through the episode. So there we go.
Right. So basically we are talking about, the overarching topic, the mega topic is content, chutney content, or content within the Indo industry, whatever is executed, produced and performed in this industry. We are talking about the content of the music, right? In terms of topics and otherwise, anything else that would fit within that content, the sphere of being a content original, or maybe even cover, or maybe something that is done over with a sample, something that is a mixture of everything that I just spoke about, right? What are the songs coming with, at you, for you? What are you hearing? What are you getting out of it? What are the artists actually, thinking about when they produce their songs, when they release their songs, and what seems to be trending now, as opposed to maybe what was out there 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We'll try and see if we could, talk about the evolution, so to speak, but it really is at a point now where I could say from the get-go, Richard, that I feel that the content really hasn't changed too much over the years. I don't know if you can agree.
Well, the content now, let's try and discuss what is that. Okay, what sort of content do we have from songs that are being released now? What are they speaking about?
Well, first of all, we did talk about the fact that we're getting a lot of Bollywood covers, right?
Right.
So the majority of content at this point in time is really just a rehashing of the Bollywood songs, and whether it be a love song or something about separation or some sort of scene within the movie that they are singing over. Sometimes it's about a dance in Bollywood. So that's the majority of the content, because it's cover versions, right?
Well, the thing is that even that content is, again, if you're doing Bollywood covers, that's not their content.
Right.
That's not your content. That's what it is. I'm not against any artist for doing it, but really and truly, by you changing the beat and maybe adding a couple words and stuff, that's really and truly not your content. And some people say that they have rights to some of these things. I don't know how true that is, but it still doesn't make it cool. And you're just kind of pushing some people further away by doing it. I'm letting you know that's a true thing, because when people start to understand and realize that people are just singing over, and some people will even go as far as saying you're stealing other people's music because they don't know if you buy the rights or not, or you have, any sort of right to use the content. It doesn't sell well with certain people. There will be people who will like you and they like how you sing, but really and truly, my view is that it is what it is. It's not your content. And other people, the popular opinion is that it never was your content. We might like how you're singing. You perform really good, but it's not your content. So whether you speak about heartbreak or love, or, jumping off a cliff into the ocean and swimming with dolphins, that's not your content, really, actually.
But of course, the people will say it's content. At the end of the day, It's not their own, but it's content that they're putting out, right?
Well,
That's
then
what they will say.
it brings me to the idea of who are you selling this to? Who is your audience? Which is something else that we wanted to speak about today.
Right.
Who is your audience for that? So who are we selling this cover content to? Now, I already discussed where we have let's say the wedding market. It's huge. People getting married all the time, especially now, right? So when you when you are at a wedding, a lot of times people would ask for chutney music, chutney soca music, which is primarily what this podcast is about anyway.
Right.
Because we try to add to the art form. We try to help it in all way. So when you have that now, chutney soca music and chutney music is huge at a lot of weddings.
Right.
And that's fine. That's one space that it exists. Then you have radio. So radio will say, all right, this is content that we could use. What seems appropriate to a radio station will be like, if you have a well-recorded song, the vocals sound good, the production is good, we could hear what you're saying. Because some songs we cannot, people are singing real nice in their headphones. But then now when you hear the recorded stuff, you can't understand most or anything that the person is saying because you're saying like a bee buzzing or a mosquito.
Right.
Down the road. Again, it's not to say that people can't sing or whatever, but some people actually do that and they think that is fine because they say, oh, I went by this producer and they tell me that good, and they get filled with stuff in their head.
Yeah.
So, don't buy the shade up.
Yeah.
Let some of your friends hear what's going on, what you're producing, whatever is your content, whether it be original or cover, that's fine. Pass it by some other people first. Don't just believe what you hear in the studio or what you play for one person or two people. Let a couple of other people that you trust who have good taste in music, let them listen to what it is you're doing. And if you ever feel shame by letting somebody hear what it is you're doing, then you probably need a little help. I'm not saying don't do it. The thing is that get some help, get some advice, and try to figure out where is it going. So back to the point of where does the music belong? Where is it played? So right now, I'm saying there will be the wedding circuit. Where else would we hear chutney soca music right now?
I mean, you might hear it in some bars. You will hear it, of course, and like boat rides. You would hear it in private parties. Not only the weddings, you might hear it at a birthday party. You might hear it at a wedding anniversary. Yes, as you said, radio station. But even then, it's come to a point now where radio stations are going to play hardcore chutney and chutney soca, traditional chutney and chutney soca from the get-go on a Monday morning. Let's say, when I say we, people on the radio kind of graduate, those that play chutney kind of graduate into the faster, up-tempo, more party kind of chutney closer towards the end of the week. Of course,
but I thought that Monday was the day for the river.
not again. Not again. Not again. Trust me, not again.
All right.
Not again. That had, a lot has to go into that in terms of the economy and, where people see themselves now in terms of going to work. And that's a whole different topic altogether. Sure. But in terms of, where Trinidad probably was 10, 15 years ago again with the chutney so prevalent, so predominant all over the place. Things have changed somewhat. Of course, remember we have a different age group now coming into adulthood and liking different things and wanting to hear different things. So that as well as kind of influence how it is played, especially on the radio, from the radio perspective.
Right. Yeah, and it brings me to another approach. Let's say that I have to suggest chutney soca artists to managers because there are artists out there who have no management. They manage themselves. They take their own bookings, and that's fine. That's cool. But if you're doing certain types of gigs where you don't need to have a lot of things in place for you, let's say if someone doesn't have to organize a backstage for you or drinks for you or somewhere for you to stay or whatever. Let's say like I'll just call it like a lower level gig then, right? Not to say it's a low level or you're not supposed to do it, right?
Yeah,
but a gig where you don't depend on a lot of things, you just need to go somewhere and perform, right? That's fine. Maybe you could, organize and get those things done, and that's cool. But let's say if I have to suggest artists to professional artist management teams and individuals, the first thing that they are going to ask me is, what can I sell? Because that's basically what they're going to do for you. They're not going to sit down, or I'm just saying, they may not sit down with you and say, oh, well, you better sing this and that or whatever. They will more than likely look for someone that they can promote now, someone who is ready now, someone whose career, you don't need to either be interested or invested in all that much. You just need to have a product that is easy to sell now. Because if a manager has to build up an artist, it's going to take some time, it's going to take a lot of effort. And then some artists are not going to get it. Some people are not going to want to go the distance then. So my thing is that, are you marketable? Are you ready for another level? Are you ready for another step where you can elevate from lower level gigs to higher level gigs? Also traveling, doing international stuff. Let's say doing a wedding overseas. Let's say if you're going to do a wedding in, I don't know, Texas or Los Angeles or Tennessee or something like that. They want to hire you.
Right.
You still need to make sure that your airline tickets are bought, everything is, correct. Don't put you in row 27 or 28 or 36 or something like that.
Right.
If you don't understand the aircraft, you'll understand what I'm talking about. That's like the back of the plane right in front of the toilet. So you don't want to be put in those seats, because whole flight you might be so, oh, let me take a little snoozer. And then you hear,
not only will you hear stuff, you might smell stuff as well.
So make sure that someone is looking out for you, so that you don't go through something like that. The next thing is that airport transfers. You need to get to the hotel or wherever you're staying at. Please don't go and stay by the promoter or by the people, unless it's your family and you know these people.
Oh my God.
I spoke about that in an earlier podcast. If you haven't checked it out before, check out some of the previous podcasts. But yeah, management does a lot of stuff for you, and it really, really helps. And it's not just about getting you on track with something, but you knowing what you want. So then a manager will get you in line with your goals and make sure that you can hit your goals so that they could continue earning a cut of your salary. So I think that is a really important thing, knowing where it is you want to go. So management is also a really, really important thing about it. So the thing is that, again, last time, make sure that you are marketable enough so that a manager will want to look into promoting you as an individual.
Yep. And I don't really see too much of that. I mean, I know you spoke about it even in our prior podcast, as you mentioned just now. I don't really see too many artists looking so far ahead. Again, that's something that I hope that would change, from these podcasts, that especially that, whatever it is we talking about, getting yourself ready for the future and marketing yourself and positioning yourself and everything else. I think a lot of artists think that they are just going to cater for the West Indian market, wherever it may be, whether it's Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, the States, Canada, wherever West Indians are. They feel like, okay, we're comfortable in that zone, and we will just do the gigs there. I mean, if we get a gig out of that market, we will adjust the suit in whatever way they feel that they need to adjust. May not be the right way, maybe, kind of halfway to what's supposed to be done. But most of the artists now, they consider themselves as West Indian artists for the West Indian market, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's actually and honestly the ambition of some artists.
Right.
They are fine with just performing for the West Indian diaspora, wherever they are. So whether it be in Europe or the States or Canada, or other regions, they are fine performing for those people, which is completely fine. And that's one thing. But at the same time, you have to be able to execute those things properly. So where management and proper connections are made. So even when extending from what I was speaking about just now. So airport transfers, when you get to the hotel, you need to make sure that there's a room for you.
Right.
Right? Because I know people, well established and not, who will get a hotel and they'll say, well, there's no reservation for you here. What are you going to do? You're in another country.
That
you
is so
have
prevalent.
A lot of money or anything or any. Because I know some artists that travel and they had like $0, right? They got to the States and they had no money and asking to borrow $10 and $20. I'm like, yo, what arrangements did you make? Who's your manager? Who you talk to? I'm not saying I don't want to give somebody $10 or $20, but it could cost me too. If you said you travel and you want to borrow money from me and you have no money, what's the chances of me getting back my money?
And that's something that happens a lot on the Chutney side. I ain't calling nobody name.
Really?
Yes, sir. Right now,
people traveling no money.
People, the no money part, maybe not, but the reservation not being there, no room, no idea as to who this person is, why you walking in my hotel, I don't know, I don't have a name, I don't have nothing pertaining to X, Y, and Z, I don't know nothing about this event, right? It's like, yes, that happens a lot. And then when you're trying to get the promoter ducking you. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you don't want to go somewhere and you're uncertain about anything at all.
Let me tell you, they have events now where artists are booked. They come up, they somehow, they get in a hotel or wherever they stay in, then they end up coming to the show, to the event, promoter nowhere around. Somebody else bring them, promoter can't be found. Promoter gone. Next day, can't find the promoter. Why? Because the promoter knows that the show wasn't doing too well and he or she wouldn't be able to recuperate the money to pay all the all the bills, and gone. That happens up to now, sir. Up to now.
That is horrible. That is crazy. Well, I mean, if it happens, okay, but we need to carry about ourselves in a way where people respect us. So that's why my suggestion would be to get a manager, because they'll be able to look after these things for you.
Right.
Also, let's jump back to the whole scene about content. At the time of this recording, we have Prime Minister Narendra Modi here in the country. Modi. Is the proper pronunciation Modi?
Narendra Modi.
It's Modi, right? Okay.
Modi,
so Modi. Yeah. Sorry. Narendra Modi. Listen, I'm only saying that because I hear people on TV say that. Yeah. So the Indian Prime Minister is here. Let's just say, right, after his event, there's another, like an after event. So like an after party or after gathering or something. And they have DJ Curry Stew playing. Maybe not, right? Whoever the DJ is, playing our music and he having a little drink and eating some food or whatever. Let's just say one of the people who is hosting this congregation from Trinidad says, hey, well, let's just say it comes from the Trinidad and Tobago contingent, right? They could say, hey, check this out. This is one of our local artists. This is a song called whatever, right? And let's just say that song is a cover.
He will say, but I know this song. I know this song very well. What do you say this song was?
Right. So what do you think his comment beyond that, Big Daddy, is going to be? Let's just say when the real comment comes, right? He might, I don't know what his comment would be, but let's just imagine what are the things that he can say. He and his team could say, well, that's a wonderful remake of our classic song, or, that's a really good remake of a song that's, did very well at the box office. And then where does it go from there? Would it go anywhere from there? Would he say, well, would he be inclined to suggest that, okay, would this person do well if we bring them to India and perform here and sing this song and perform and stuff? Do you think that would happen in a case like that? What was your...
I think at the point in time when he hears the song being performed live, he's probably not going to think about any recording, right? He's probably not going to say, well, I wonder if these guys record this tune, right?
No. I'm speaking about if a DJ is playing it. So it is a recorded song.
Oh, a DJ.
Because I said, DJ Curry.
Okay, because I know you said there will be artists performing as well too. So if
no. I was talking about a DJ. A DJ is playing music, and somebody from the Trinbago contingent is saying, okay, this is one of our local artists, and this is a song that they did.
Right. So he may say, okay, it's something that the artist did because, they're trying to get jobs and they just recorded it, not for any monetary gain or anything like that, or as a official release. But if he really wants to, really think about it hard and says, well, wait now, this might be actually a recording that has been put out there for monetary gain, as a official recording, then and as much as it may be insignificant for us to think about it, who knows, he might engage the relevant authorities out there, right? And they might be like, okay, let's take a look into this. You never know. He being the Prime Minister of India, he probably has so many larger issues to deal with that might just bypass him, but you never know. Or maybe somebody in his team might be dealing with the music side of the culture of India and may decide to do something. Who knows?
Are you spelling doom and gloom?
No, I'm not spelling doom and gloom, but I'm just saying. But really and truly, I know that he probably here for other more pressing matters.
I don't think I would not think that because it's something that is taken or covered, then that might mean that they're not going to pay much attention to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's generally the feeling. That is generally the feeling.
So a DJ has the opportunity to play your music, and it's one of theirs.
Yeah, I know.
It's just something to think about, right? Again, I have nothing against the covers and stuff. Some people do it really well, but at the same time, look at the opportunity that we are presented with now.
Yeah.
Where somebody has come from there to here, and they are here. We have the chance potentially to present ourselves to them. And what do we have? Covers. I'm not saying that that's what's happening right now, but I'm just saying potentially we have the chance to do it. And if we have sufficient good material, it will be an easy sell to do it.
Now, I spoke once a few years ago to an Indian national who's been here in Trinidad for many years, working here, right? This was, I don't know, maybe 10 plus years, maybe 15 years. There was a particular song that was very big in Trinidad at the time, and it's what we consider a Bolani, right? Taking the Bollywood music, the melody, and singing a chutney over the Bollywood melody with a chutney beat, right? I
love how you just break it down for all the people who may not know what it is. I love that.
So he really enjoyed the song, but what he told me was, I really like this tune. It has a lot of energy, and I like how they put their own Trini spin. But I'm hoping that this is not like everyday occurrence, or this is not something that is done on a regular basis. He kind of told me in not those exact words, right? And that was then when, the industry was at a point where it was only once in a while you were getting those kind of songs. Now, of course, things have changed where a lot of the chutney coming out is that phrase that we like to use, Bolani. And I wonder what
should we even call it chutney?
Well, I don't know. You talk to the artists and they say, yeah, that's the new chutney soca. That's exactly what they tell you. Some of the prominent artists out there will say that is the evolution of chutney soca. That's what they say, Those are the words that come out their mouth.
So the evolution is reincarnation?
I don't know. Probably. So I don't know. But that guy, I'm wondering what he thinks now in terms of every time he listens to a chutney soca, or most of the times he would hear something along those lines, a Bolani or something with a lot of Bollywood melodies thrown all over the song. And I guess he's not, I don't know if he's liking it as much as he did, but he did specifically tell me, I really hope that this is not kind of like a trend where everything is going to be like that, because I like to hear the other kind of chutney soca, the traditional chutney as well.
Right. When I got into the chutney soca industry in 2010, 2001.
Right.
Right? Some of you all weren't even born yet. So in 2001, I got familiar with chutney music and the whole Bollywood industry and indie pop remixes and remakes and stuff. And that was really cool. And why I became very interested in it is because we had people who were remixing Bollywood songs and putting them over dancehall beats and EDM beats and stuff like that, which was really, really cool. And I used to travel and bring back a whole set of the music for us to play on radio, right, Big Daddy?
On
And
CD.
on CD, sometimes even cassette.
Cassette too, boy.
And we would play these things and people would go insane for it. And it used to sound really, really good. And my whole approach was, I am glad that I'm able to use this and this type of music and this approach to get people involved in the music, so they'll want to know where it came from, what it is. So you know that when you hear a melody and you hear somebody singing something and you hear all the music and stuff playing in the background over the dancehall beat, you might say, all right, well, what movie this came from? So that's what got me interested. So when this is the backstory of how I would approach a radio show. So I would listen to the song and I would find out what movie it was from. And then I'll go home after my shift, because my shift was usually on a morning. So after my shift ends at 10 a.m., I will go home and find a movie and go and watch it.
Right.
And then I'll be able to come on the next day now and play the song again and talk about it and say, hey, this came from this movie, and Kajal acted in it, and this one and that one and whatever. And that was really cool. So it was a way for me to learn a little bit of that part of the culture. So not only the music, but also the movies. And be able to say, this happened, and it was really cool, and this actress was really cool, and this one real hot, and, check she out and thing, or it have a real stick twist in the end. It's not about how the father don't like the boy, and he had to run away or do something. It's nothing like that. So, so it was a way for me to explain and make the music and the industry seem better and come across better and have a more informed approach and presentation to what we were consuming. And it worked, because it became very popular. The radio station we were on was huge. It was very popular. People up to now speak about it.
Right.
And I'm friends with a couple of the fans that I used to speak with back then. So what should be our approach now in your eyes? What should we be doing now? Or what are some things that we can do now to get people interested, keep them interested, and move people forward at the same time?
Well, in terms from a content perspective, I don't think anything has really changed too much. And, in terms of the chutney and the chutney soca from, like reinventing the wheel. No, there's nothing like that. Chutney soca, traditional chutney has always been loved in the formats that they were delivered in years ago, from inception, even up to now, when they are delivered in those formats. People once in a while will take to a quote-unquote Balinese song if it's really, really, really well done, and it like really sits down well in terms of the lyrical content with the Bollywood melody. If it really fits well and it just clicks, you really can't deny something like that, right? When it's really done well. But then you're not getting that. You're getting where a lot of the stuff coming out is just like, just run of the mill, really run of the mill. The lyrics, everything, just run of the mill. And it's just, a couple artists that do it well. And even these artists sometimes struggle to find the right balance and the right equation. So I think now more than ever, we need a output where we still getting the chutney soca, how it used to be 15, 20 years ago, the traditional chutney. But the traditional has never really changed. We just need more traditional. We need more chutney soca as it was. Maybe a little less of the Bolani, maybe a little more than a little less, a lot more than a little less, of the Bolani. And I think that balance would work out for us in the industry, because you find a lot of the young people now thinking that really and truly the Bolani is the way to go, because they're looking up to these artists, these veterans, these individuals who have so much experience, and saying, well, if they're doing that and all that, all that they're doing is that, why we don't just follow in their footsteps? And that's why now it's gotten to the point where it's really ridiculous. It's really switched over to a large extent to the Bolony.
Well, I think we need to go back. Let's touch on the content a little bit, because we will need to wrap on a while.
Yep.
What are we singing about? And Chutney Soca used to, and sometimes maybe less than more now, it used to speak about very common topics, right? Whether it be love, heartbreak, maybe a little rum, a little kicks about this one or whatever, a dance move, or this one can't whine or whatever, which is cool. And I think what made Chutney music really special for me is because it used to be, they used to sing about funny things, right? Or have a funny outlook on anything, right? So whether it be, you can't reach because the road flood out or something like that, right? Simple things like that you're going to speak about, and the way that you deliver it and you write the song and produce it, that could be a hit right there, right? Just sing about the flood. Right? Because a real thing. People are experiencing that, and people are actually losing a lot of things from these floods, whether it be livestock, plants, appliances in their homes, Whereas if we could find, I won't say humorous, but a lighter look or view on this situation, maybe we could feel, not so bad about these things, because we still just kind of went into the rainy season. So it have more flood to come, I'm sure. What about that? Let somebody take up the charge and the idea that we gave them here now. Sing about the flood, find something humorous or something, and so let's look at it with a lighter perspective. And sing something about that, and use your own melody. It could be easy to come up with and do something like that.
I really don't want to name the songs, but I think I have to in this instance. I mean, now people are trying to sing the same comedy, put the same comedy in the Chutney. Maybe not with the serious topic like the flood. They're trying to talk about different things, and it kind of takes you back to when songs like Cat Lick the Butter and songs like Pinky Darling and other songs were out that were really hilarious, really like real funny songs, right? And people try to recreate songs like that now, but it's just not working. Maybe I don't know what elements are missing. I don't know if it's just too much thought went into the songs, and just people are not actually saying, well, let's just do it for the kicks of it. Let's try and make it really serious while being comical, and it just not working from that perspective. But you don't find songs like that again. The Cat Lick the Butter, the Pinky Darling, A Harry Boy, things like that.
I think it still has a way to go. I think people just need to focus on it. I think that's the easy thing, because as Trinbagonians, we are very, very creative people. All we need to do is understand that just be creative. Don't let people keep telling you what to do, and just do it. Be creative. You, as an artist, if you call yourself an artist, that means that you are supposed to be creative about something. Something has to be creative, because...
Don't overthink it. Don't
overthink it. You need to be able to create something. So let's say if I have to create a piece of music, right? I'm going to create it. I don't need to say, all right, I'm going to do over that. No, because that is not mine. Then I'm just leaning on somebody else's material and content to make something, and that will never be mine. I could put my name on it or do anything I want, but that's not mine, and I'm not going to feel good. So that's why I wonder how some people really go forward in this thing and be like, yeah, that's my song, and then I'm going to sing it all over the place. I don't know. I can't do that, but still, just explore your creativity for a moment and give it a chance. If it don't work once and you have the means to do it, try something again and again. Don't put out something until you let a couple trusted friends or accomplices in the music industry listen to it and be like, and give you honest feedback on it. Because again, some people will want to laugh at you. They will. But you will know inside here, you will know if somebody means the right thing or not. And don't be fooled by who somebody is. Just try and, see what feeling you get from them. Not just listen to what they say, but understanding what they mean. Because some people say certain things, but they mean something else. So try and discern that a little bit. And then for all we might come out, we might be sparking something here, Big Daddy, that they'll be like, hey, well, let me go back to the funny foundation. the comedic content. Let's go back to that and try it. And you would not believe there's a market for that because, some people say that Trinidad and Tobago is one of the happiest places in the earth. You know why? It's not that, in my opinion. It's because we go through so much of things that we just try to give ourselves the therapy. So we find things to make ourselves feel better about the situation.
Right.
So I think that's what makes us a little happy Twin Island Republic. That's my opinion.
Yep, definitely. Yep. Yeah. I think we cover all bases there.
Yeah, for now. So we hope that you really enjoyed this episode. We offloaded some really pertinent and important topics, and we also gave you some ways and some ideas as to how to approach certain things. And I think for the next show, we are going to speak about the fans. I'm just throwing this out there. But I think that we will speak about the fans and how they interact with media. Let's say radio, television, and artists. Because the last group of episodes, we spoke about giving feedback and stuff.
Right.
But this way now, we will help you understand what radio stations, in particular, I'll say, and people who broadcast the musical content from the Chutney Soca industry to the masses or to their audience, and let you try to get an idea as to how things work. So I'm springing it on you, Big Daddy.
Yeah, no scene.
Because from what we spoke about before the show, I think that'll be something really interesting for people to hear about and understand what happens. Of course, not everybody's going to listen and understand, but at the same time, I'm sure we could reach one person who will understand and be like, oh, so that's what goes into it. That's what goes into a song being either released or played on a radio station. Okay, right. All right. Now I understand why either this song may be played or not played or whatever. And just understand sometimes it's not content that is airworthy.
Right. Exactly.
Just understand from the get-go, so not everything is airworthy. So I'll probably end with that.
Well, let me just quickly say, contrary to popular thinking and the popular belief out there, where you hear a lot of people say, oh God, it's at a point now where you don't need radio stations. It's all about social media. That is correct to a certain extent, right? But let me tell you something. There are times when you are on the road and you're in your vehicle, or there are other times where you are in a situation where the radio is on and, it's maybe something, like a release or maybe something else that's happening that people still listen to the radio, right? At certain times, it is very, very important. So don't think you can just discount the radio and say, I don't really need them fellas again. I don't need the radio station again. We have not reached the point where there's zero need for the radio. Radio is still important at certain times, as I said, and you have to know how to navigate that, that whole process of having your music on the radio, as Richard said, and of course also balancing the social media and all the other platforms that you have. So there is equity to a certain point.
Yeah, I think I'll call that part of the outside-in approach, where you can share and promote your stuff on the socials, even YouTube,
right?
And somebody's going to pick it up. Our radio DJ is going to be like, hey, let's play the song now.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. So it's not that you go to a radio station and say, hey, they're not playing my song. I wonder why they're not playing my song. Let me call them. Hello, why not playing my song? Why you not playing my song? It's
God.
Good. I do it by this one. So it's supposed to be good. What? So we'll get into that matter.
Oh God.
Yeah, we'll get to that part of it in the next episode.
All right. Cool. So that's a wrap.
Yeah. Very quickly, I want to thank the couple of people who commented on my socials about the last clip that we posted. Did I actually just read it out? Or...
If you want to read it out.
All right. Okay, so one of the comments was about saying that there's a difference between being artistic and what some artists get away with, because some people are missing depth, originality, and intention. And it's a stretch to call it arts. They're speaking about basically like the remakes and stuff like that, right? That we should just call them singers and performers. I don't agree with that, because nobody's going to think about, oh, this is this singer who's singing, or this is this performer. People don't really have the brain matter for that. nobody else is doing it in any other industry, so why should we do all of that for this one? It's not going to make sense. It's not going to work for that kind of thing. And the next comment is about someone is saying that Trinidad doesn't support original music. And that's, let's see. I think, they're just basically saying that Trinidad is like a crab in a barrel business. I would say that they need to be exposed to good music. And again, if we go back, let's say a couple people just go back to the humorous roots of Chutney soca music and try their hand at it. I'm sure one of them going to bust and they're going to make to real max out. When I say bust, I mean like blow up there, right? So,
but by saying Trinidad is not, what was the comment? Trinidad is not used to.
Yeah, it doesn't support original music and Trinidad is crab and barrel.
But that is just limiting, that comment is limiting to the genre itself of chutney music from that perspective, because if you just go straight to soca music and all the other genres, you will see how much original music is supported and loved in Trinidad.
Yeah, so it will be in the chutney soca industry.
Yeah.
So again, if it's crab and barrel, that's up for debate a little bit. But at the same time, I think if you make good music on the whole, you won't need to rely on the chutney soca audience, because people from other audiences or the non-traditional chutney soca audience will start to pay attention. If a big song is a big song, everybody's going to hear about it. Because when you play that song in your car, you're not just playing that song in your car and everybody else who hear it is like, oh, you're a chutney listener, so you could hear the song, right? Yeah. Oh, no, that's a soca. You listen to it. It's not like that.
Yeah.
You're going to be banging on that tune.
Of course.
A big song is a big song. So
of course,
go brave. Don't be afraid. Do some good music. Try things. And if it's something real good, we will support you in that. So continue to keep leaving the comments on the socials, but as well as the YouTube page and on the videos, please leave your comments there. It's going to help the channel a lot. And remember to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe the videos on the channel.
Yeah, we must emphasize that we have our YouTube channel, The Courage 2, the Chutney Podcast is a channel. So when we put up the clips are just a short form of, or a short part of what we do in its entirety, which is on the YouTube channel. Yes. All right. So just to let you know.
All right. Thank you guys and girls for viewing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy listening. Be good. Be safe. I will see you next rounds.
All right, cool. We gone?
All right, Tante.
Later.
Yeah. Back to, I'm going to need some curse,
Okay, me too. Later.
I'm going to need the curse.
All right.